Hey, my fellow ink drinkers, welcome back to my bookish space. Today is all about my recent reads. Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me here today. If you are new, I'm Em, and I love dark fiction, horror, thrillers, the darker side of historical fiction, dark fantasy, you name it. I love it. So I recently read 3 books that I have not talked about here on this channel, so I thought I'd dive in and share some thoughts on these books. The first book that I finished was Something Wicked, Something Dark by Jamie Stewart. This is set out to release in September, I think early September. His goal was the 1st, I believe, but you know things happen, especially in self-publishing. So be on the lookout for this. It was an excellent read. There were several stories in it. I remember 2 of them from other anthologies, so that was exciting to kind of reread them because both of them were super enjoyable. The 2 that I loved the most were new to me, and the first is called The Lodger, and it's about a woman who rents out a room in her house, and every year this same man comes and rents the room. The big question is this man who he portrays himself to be? Or is there something more sinister afoot? The other story that just gave me all the feels was called Vinyl Blues. It's about a boy who receives his father's vinyl collection, and there is something dark about one of the records. And I'll leave it at that. Because they are short stories, I don't want to spoil anything for you, but this is the perfect spooky season read. You've got a bunch of short stories. You can read them in small bites or sit down and read the whole thing. Lots of fun, and really sets you up for a fabulous spooky Halloween. The second book that I finished was The Hero, the Fear, and the Date by Gilley. Now this addresses 3 amazing tropes, and I don't want to give away what each of the stories is about, but my favorite was Fear of the Dark. I think you can guess what this might be about. I definitely have a strong fear of the dark. I don't like sitting in pitch black. It's not fun to me. I think the only time I really enjoyed myself in the pitch black was when we played sardines one year in my youth group, and we were in the church basement, and that's where all the like Sunday school classrooms were, and for some reason I was not afraid. But put me in a dark room any other time without some source of light within reach, and I'm kind of a mess, not gonna lie. But Rod has a great writing style, and this was a very quick read. This was only 40 pages, so you can definitely read this in one sitting. Make yourself a cup of coffee, pour yourself a glass of wine, or whatever you like to drink, and sit by the fire maybe. Maybe not this time of year, but you know. It's definitely one of those cozy yet horrific books, and I absolutely loved it. It was great. The last book that I finished is called Lilly by Kevin Andrew. This was actually sent to me by my friend Heidi over on Bookstagram. I will be sure to link her page below. If you're on Bookstagram, I highly recommend following her. She offers up great reviews and is a big fan of indie horror like me. So we have a big connection there, and she's just the sweetest. So she has sent me a few books and just melts my dark little heart. But this one is by an indie author, of course. I will read the back to you, and then I'll share my thoughts. And of course, out of all the glasses I have, I don't think I have any in here. So we'll try to do this without. 2 serial killers in a small town shrouded in fear. For over a decade, a small town has been plagued by a serial killer known as the Death Dealer, who has never been caught, and speculation of who the individual is has faded with time. Now a mimic killer has recently appeared mocking the killings of the death dealer. A community is now in panic and desperate for answers. A young woman named Lilly keeps having nightmares of her own father killing people. With the disappearance of her best friend Alex, Lilly now fears that she has become a victim of the death dealer. And so she will do anything to save her, even if that means accusing her own father of Alex's abduction. Now Lilly must carefully investigate every possible avenue to uncover the truth, even if the truth opens up a dark past. So I enjoyed this story. I enjoyed the plot. It took me a minute to acclimate myself to the style of writing. I think it was clever. There were a lot of twists and turns. There were two moments toward the end that I did not see coming. And I love when that happens. I love being surprised. I love being put in my place when I think I know. I'm just so smart, I know what's gonna happen. And then I'm proved wrong. Love that. So that was a lot of fun. So if you like to give indie thrillers or horror a try, give this one a try. Heidi sent this to me because he just has a handful of reviews on Goodreads. And so if you find it in your heart to read and review Lilly by Kevin Andrew, go ahead and do that. I think I've only rated it. I haven't reviewed it yet. I need to think about what I'd like to say because I just finished it today. But this cover is great. I did honestly have kind of a hard time connecting with any of the characters. So it was kind of hard to have like fear in my heart for them, for what they might have been going through. But the plot was amazing. The plot was the best part to me, and he really thought those things through and put a lot of time into developing the plot from what I can see. Obviously, I'm not him. I don't know how he approached this book, but from what I can see, the plot was well thought out and well developed, and I'd definitely read another book by this author. So what I am picking up next is Mischief Night by E.C. Hanson and Mark Towse, two of my absolute favorites. So I'm thinking maybe I'll start a reading vlog. Should I do it? I think I'll do it. So I'll do a reading vlog for Mischief Night. Both of these authors are absolute favorites of mine. I've liked everything they've written, even if I was super traumatized by my first Mark Towse experience. But his writing is fantastic, and I was just in a sensitive place, but we won't dive back into that. Anyway, both authors have excellent books out there, several books. They produce books left and right. They are amazing, and they're good quality books. The writing is fabulous, and the storylines are on point, and they keep you entertained, and I absolutely love everything that I've read from them, and I am so excited to read this. So this comes out, I believe, in October. I forgot to write it down. I think it comes out October 1st. And E.C. Hanson might sound familiar to you, even if you haven't read anything of his, because he is the author of The Stepney Green Killer, which we are reading in September for the Indie Ink Drinker Book Club. So if you'd like to join in on that, please let me know, and I will be sure to link The Stepney Green Killer below so you can grab yourself a copy and join us. I will have little check-ins here and there on YouTube and Instagram, as well as a Discord set up for our spoiler-filled discussion. So we are going to keep everything spoiler-free on Instagram and YouTube, but once we have finished out the month, we will have a discussion over in Discord full of spoilers. So you don't have to join Discord unless you'd like to hear everyone's thoughts on the book with spoilers. I will share my thoughts at the end of September in a review type video, and then we can discuss it below that video, spoiler free of course. So anyway, that is it from me today. I'm gonna get going on Mischief Night. I hope you guys are reading some great things. Let me know what you're reading below. Have you read anything that I talked about today? I read a lot of ARCs, so I'm not sure if you have had the chance to get to them yet, but I'd love to hear what's going on in your bookish world. Cheers to reading dark and twisty books. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.